everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to go to my favourite cinema, Odeon, and I'm going to see the new Captain Marvel movie. It literally just came out today, and I also got one of the Odeon free posters when I got my ticket. So let's go in and see the movie. And I am back home from seeing the movie. It is actually the next day, but you know, it's still fresh in my mind, it's fine. So just before we actually get into the review part, I just thought I'd really quickly show you a little bit of merchandise to do with the movie, which I was kindly gifted by Disney UK. So if you're off to see the movie, or if you've just seen the movie and you really want to get some merchandise as well, then this was literally just gifted to me and it is available in stores. So the first thing was an Odeon poster, which I picked up while I was at the cinema. You guys know me, I always go Odeon. It's not paid, it's not sponsored, I just prefer it. It's such an amazing cinema. Like, if you live in the northeast, the best cinema hands down is Odeon in the Metro Centre. And this just, yeah, I'm not going to keep going on about it because that's not what this is about, but there's just a lot of extras. And one of the things is, every time there's like a main movie out, they do these awesome posters for the movies. So obviously they have a Captain Marvel one, and obviously I had to pick it up. It's really cool actually, because this bit is like shiny and raised. Like, considering these are free posters, that's pretty awesome. So yeah, I picked that up in Odeon, so make sure you head down to your local Odeon if you want to grab that before they sell out. I say sell out before they hand it out. So Disney UK really kindly gifted me some goodies. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen me put these on my story. But the first thing is from Disney Store. They gifted me the Captain Marvel sequined notebook. How just gorgeous is that? And the really cool thing is that it actually, oh wait, hang on. Woo! It changes so that it is like obviously the Kree and their uniform colours, and then if you watch the movie, you know she changes the colours and she is Captain Marvel. So that is a really nice touch. That is really cool. So thank you, Disney Store, for gifting me that. It's all gold and it does even have her in the corners of the pages, so thank you so much for that. The next thing that Disney really kindly gifted me was this doll. It's so cool. Honestly, I do love a good doll, and honestly, is it just me or does that actually look like Brie Larson? Like, it really does look like her. It's really, really cool. And now that I've seen the movie and I'm all like female empowered and everything, yes, like I really, really like this doll. I love the way they've like shaped her and everything. Like, it's a really woman empowering doll, and this is Disney Store, but it does come with like the little hand pieces there, so you can change it over obviously when she like gets her power on and stuff. And yeah, I just thought it was a really, really cool doll. Next item was this from DK Books. Thank you so much for gifting me this. The movie was released on International Women's Day, and then this book has all of your female superheroes in here, which is very cool. And the artwork, the illustration work is just beautiful. Ms. Marvel there, Spider-Woman, Hawkeye, Mary Jane Watson. It's a really cool book, so thank you for gifting me that, Disney UK, and that is DK Books. And then the last item before we get onto the review, oh, it's coming out of the box, is this Funko Pop from Funko Europe, and it glows in the dark. It's so cool. It's her when she's got like a helmet up and everything, and she's really like flying through the air, and yes, I really love this one. So this is obviously Funko Europe. Thank you again, Disney UK, for gifting me that, and that's all of the ones you can get. It's so funny how you can get Goose. I really need to get Goose. That is hilarious. And I kind of really want Nick Fury as well. Yeah, that's a really cool range. Now that I've seen the movie, now I know who they all are. So thank you, Disney UK. Right, on to the review part of this review. So there is going to be spoilers. I am going to be talking about the movie, so if you haven't seen it or you don't want to know any spoilers, maybe this isn't the review for you, or come back once you've seen the movie. So just as a quick summary of what the movie is about, the movie is set in 1995. It is about an extraterrestrial woman called Carol. She is in with the Krees. She is fighting as a Kree warrior, and she is in the middle of a galactic battle with her people and the Skrulls. So she keeps having memories of like a past life, and she can't remember like who she was like before 6 years ago, sort of thing. She ends up chasing the Skrulls down to Earth, and then once she gets there, things start to unravel. You know, we meet Fury, a much younger Fury, we'll get onto that. She finds out the truth about what is actually happening with the Krees and the Skrulls. In doing so, she kind of like releases her power. She had been getting like held back and stuff, and she becomes this badass, awesome Captain Marvel superhero. Saves the day, and yeah. That is a really bad explanation. So first of all, this review is definitely coming from someone that does not know the comic books. I do not know anything about Captain Marvel other than the movie I have just seen. So I went into the movie with zero expectations, and that was because I watched the trailer and I didn't like the look of it. I thought basically Captain Marvel was just going to be another stepping stone movie in the Marvel Avengers universe. This has been a 10-year planned thing towards Endgame, and Endgame is everything. Endgame is life. I cannot wait for Endgame. Like seriously, like I'm hugely on board with the Avengers movies, absolutely worship them, but I do feel like a lot of the movies in the series are kind of stepping stones for information that we will need for the Avengers movies, i.e. Endgame. A lot of the Captain America movies are definitely that. They are stepping stones, although Civil War was really good. I didn't really like Winter Soldier. And I did feel like when I seen the trailer that this was going to be another stepping stone moment. Like we need to know stuff in this movie to be able to understand Endgame. Obviously, if you've seen the last one, Infinity War, Fury did get out his little transponder thing and called Captain Marvel to the rescue. So we needed to know who she was and what role she's going to play in Endgame. So I seen the trailer and I was like, really don't know much about the actress Brie Larson. Sorry to say, like I don't know any of her other movies, I don't think. Not that that matters, but I was just like, I don't know who this chick is. I don't know what this movie is. Like I don't know who the character is that well. I did recognize on Fury's like little transponder thing, like her thing, like her little logo, and I was like, okay, he's just called Captain Marvel. Like I did know that, but I don't know much about her as a character. So yeah, the trailer to me just kind of looked a bit kind of like boring. Like I don't know, not much happening, like didn't really excite me, didn't really make me very interested, but I knew I needed to see it to understand Endgame, which is life. So went into this movie with zero expectations, and honestly I feel like that might be the best way to go, because I actually really enjoyed it, like pleasantly surprised, really enjoyed this movie. There has been a lot of negative reviews for this movie, and I do feel like it is like the big comic book fan, intense fans that really pick on every little kind of detail, and I feel like they went into it already hating it or expecting awesome great things from it and then didn't like it for whatever reason. Like it was a stepping stone movie, but a really awesome one. Like it was good, like I really enjoyed it. So yeah, definitely go into it expecting not, like it's not an Avengers movie, but it's leading up to it, and there was a lot of, I'll talk about why I liked it. Okay, so firstly, Brie Larson as Captain Marvel. I didn't expect to like her. I know that sounds bad. I just didn't, I don't know, I just didn't get like an awesome, cool, like, yes vibe from her in the trailer. I was just kind of a bit like meh, you know, we need an awesome female superhero, and I'm just not getting that vibe from her. But boy did she give it to us in the movie. I like her. I really like her as Captain Marvel. I think she is so cool. I really do feel like she has just given us what we need. Like she was kicking butt, she was taking names, and she was doing it in an awesome way. The problem with DC is that they keep doing this thing with females where they sexualize them, and this didn't happen at all, and that was what we needed. Like she didn't have a butt out, she didn't have, like, yes, she had a suit on that was like skin tight, but all of the Kree did. Like that was their uniform, and she looked awesome in it. Women don't need to dress a certain way to be superheroes, and she certainly didn't. And yeah, I think another important thing was that they released this on International Women's Day, and I was just really in the mood for being like women empowered and stuff, and she totally did. She was awesome. She's like my new favorite superhero. Seriously, I don't understand why she's getting so much negativity. Like I've been reading a lot of other people's reviews and people don't really like her as Captain Marvel, and I'm like, but why? She was cool. I loved our quip, I loved our relationship with Fury. I thought that was really cool. I loved seeing them kind of having the cute little kind of niggly arguments when Fury was clearly a little bit more just getting into it, and a little bit kind of more, not that he's a negative person, but he had a little bit more life in him, a little bit kind of more fun in him, and I think they bounced off each other really well. Like I really like their characters together. I can see the relationship, and I can see why he calls on her and why she came running. If obviously if you have, hopefully if you've seen the movie, you waited for the end scene at the end when it was nothing new, they didn't tell us anything we didn't already know, but she did come running. Like she answers the beacon and she's there, but we already knew that they were calling her, like Fury's already called her. So we already know that. So there was nothing new in the end scene, but I'm not mad at it because it is our first kind of glimpse of her being part of Endgame. She showed up and she was like, where's Fury? Like, where is he? Like, they're obviously very good friends, and I like that about it. I liked that about the end scene. I did like that they are clearly really good friends and she's called the Beacon. What I don't understand though is why he didn't call her sooner. Like, the whole Thanos thing has been coming together for a while. The thing is, Fury definitely knows what's going on at all times. Like, he proved that in the last movie where he showed up with the ship that I can't remember the name of. So he showed up in Age of Ultron with like the ship and like got all of the all of the people onto the ship, and like it was like, oh, we didn't even call you, and he's like, I always know what's going on. So it's like, why didn't he call Captain Marvel sooner? She's clearly very powerful, like she could kick Thanos's butt. Maybe, hopefully, we shall see. But it's like, yeah, why wasn't she called earlier? Why was she called at the very last minute? That's kind of a thing that I don't like. There's always another superhero that can be called and show up and save the day, and it's like, well, why weren't they called half an hour ago when it kind of mattered? So I didn't like that bit, but I did like their relationship and that she showed up, and she's definitely in Endgame and she has an important role to play. She's not in any of the trailers, so they've kept that kind of, you know. And then she's in that end scene at the end of the movie and she's called, she's there. She's gonna kick butt. Another thing I liked about the movie is the CGI age rewind that they did on Samuel L. Jackson. That was really, really good. Like, at first when you see him, it's like, he looks really young, and then it just blends. Like, it works. The person that did that number on his face with the CGI and taking back the years, bravo, you know what you're doing. Call me in 10 years. I don't think the age rewind worked as well on Clark Gregg, who plays obviously like Coulson. Yeah, it didn't work as well on him, but they still managed to make him look younger. The other thing that I really liked was the kind of nostalgic vibe of 1995. We had like Blockbuster. I definitely liked the way they dressed her with like the grunge, like the 9 Inch Nails t-shirt and the flannel. I think they did that very well. Like, the whole just kind of, it looked 1995. Like, and the 90s is like my favorite era. I really liked that, the whole kind of vibe of the movie, like being in the 90s. I did really like that. And then obviously like the back end of the 80s as well, like from the 6 years earlier from the original like Crash and everything. Another thing that I really liked was obviously Stan Lee's little kind of cameo there. Bless his little heart. It was really cool how he just kind of like smiled at her and she just kind of looked at him and smiled back, and I thought that was really nice. That was like a really nice little thing, so that was cool. Obviously he has to be in the movie, but obviously he can't be in any more unless they CGI him into them. Are they going to do that? That would be cool. The overall storyline, did it actually have that much of an exciting storyline? Honestly, not really. Like, it's not like the world's best storyline, and it's not like, oh wow, what's gonna happen next? I think it was more the overall kind of vibe of her that I liked, and Marvel and how it fits in with the Avengers, you know, but the actual storyline wasn't like, oh, but I still liked everything else enough overall to overall really quite like the movie, like be pleasantly surprised, because remember, I went in thinking I'm probably not going to really like this, I just need to see it to understand Endgame. I did also like how we found out how Nick Fury loses his eye. Absolutely hilarious that the little cat Goose scratches him and then that's his eye gone. I thought that was really cool. And I also really liked how the Avengers got their name from Carol's plane at the end. When Fury's looking at a picture, you can see the word Avengers on her like plane, and that's how they get their name. It was really interesting to see things starting to come together, because obviously this happened, like this is how the Avengers started, and before the Avengers, and yeah, that was really interesting. Honestly, there was just a lot of things that I liked that added up, even though they weren't necessarily the storyline, and I think that's why I liked it overall. But yeah, the storyline wasn't like blowing me away, but overall I liked the movie. Was there anything that I didn't like? I guess one thing that was a bit kind of like, was that, you know, 1 minute she can't really control her powers. Apparently she has a lot of emotion. That's what men tell her, because clearly she can control them. But at the same time, she did suddenly get very, very good at protecting the planet once she had that thing took off the back of her neck, and she was suddenly able to use her power to the full ability. It was very quick. She wasn't really stumbling around and like, whoa, I can't control this too much. It was suddenly just like, yeah, I'm awesome. Which I liked, because it was like, yes, but at the same time it was like, realistically, would that happen? I think the only other thing that I kind of found a bit confusing is the very first opening scene. She has like a bit of blue blood on her nose. The Skrull is walking towards her with a gun, and the scientist Marvel is holding the gun and like you know, it looks like it's about to come to like a thing and a big explosion's happened. But that didn't happen at all, and it never really explained how that was her memory of that. Like, did they put that into her head? Because that's not what happened at all. You know, you find out what actually happened with the plane going down, and Marvell is killed, and she stood there with the gun pointing it at her, wow, what's his name? She's actually pointing her gun at Yon Rog is his name. Terrible with pronunciation, do apologise. So if that's what really happened, then why did she remember it differently? Like, did they implant that fake memory into her head? Never really explained that. I think that was kind of really the only little things that I'd like pick at and be like, okay, I didn't really like that so much. Like I said, the storyline wasn't like amazing, and a couple of little niggly things, but overall I really enjoyed the movie. I did. I went in with zero expectation. I really liked it. I think she is an awesome character, not just for empowering women, but just part of the Marvel Universe. I liked her. I did. I liked her. I really liked the movie. I'd definitely go see a second one. Yeah, okay, they're not as exciting as the Avengers movies, but they are the main movies of this whole thing. It did fit in well with Endgame. I liked the back kind of history, and it was like, oh, this happened because of this, and this happened because of this, and it explained things and how things started. Like, I like that. It's interesting to see that. So overall, I liked the movie. I did. I can't wait for Endgame. Seriously, cannot wait. Like, oh my lord. And yeah, that was kind of my little movie review. If anybody else has any like thoughts or comments, or they agree or disagree with anything, like you just want to have a chat about like the review, the movie, down in the comments, do you get chatting and let's talk about this movie, because Endgame is not far away. Next month, I believe April, I want to say 20th, but I could be wrong. April, Endgame is due. Oh wow, probably the most excited for any movie this year, and there's a lot of movies this year coming out. I'm also really excited for the Star Wars movie though. I'm excited for a lot of movies, but Endgame is like, oh, I mean, it's Endgame, you know? So yeah, let me know what you thought of Captain Marvel. I'm going to try and be doing like a lot more movie reviews from now on. So hopefully every time a movie comes out, especially Disney movies, I will be doing a review. So look out for those. Come back to my channel if you want to see those. Every time there's a Disney movie out, I will be doing a review. It's my new thing that I want to do because I really like movies. Like, I love movies. Like, I watch movies every day. Like, while I'm at my computer working, I've got movies on in the background. Like, I am a movie girl. I'm going to stop blabbing. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos from me, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.